All right, everybody. Welcome to this little webinar and session on Tao Yin. Sometimes I think people are going, say what? Tao Yin? It's an ancient practice, and it's a practice that is steeped in history in Chinese culture. And what I find so fascinating about Qigong and practices like Tao Yin is that even though they were originated some 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, and even though they were originated in a culture that's very different than ours, they're relevant to today. They're relevant to modern life because they do a few things. Just to get into some of the benefits, they strengthen your body. This is a practice that focuses on resiliency. Now, resiliency is a principle that we talk about in the wood element. Think of a tree in the wind. Resiliency is when the tree is able to move with the wind, but doesn't get knocked over. So it's a combination of strength and flexibility. And that's what we're going to cultivate in and through our bodies, this strength and flexibility in just the right way. And what I love about Tao Yin is that it is a fully integrated practice, meaning that it works on muscular strength. It's going to work on your muscular flexibility. But because there's more flow involved in the exercises and the stretches, it really works on the joints and mobilizing the joints and really looking at the relationship between muscles, tendons, ligaments, and joints, but all through the lens of the energy or the meridian system. This is a practice, like most things in Qigong and in Chinese medicine, that focuses on the Qi, the life force energy. Because once we work on the life force energy, it has influence and impact on everything else in your body. That's why these kinds of practices are preventative, and the side effects of these practices are beneficial. So you might be doing Tao Yin for low back pain, but you might find out that now you have more energy, you sleep better, and you're in a better mood. So the side effects, this cascade of positive energy that flows through you, will have beneficial side effects in everything else because we're focusing on energy. And that's the foundation of Chinese medicine, whether we do herbs, nutrition, acupuncture, acupressure, massage therapy. We're thinking, what's this going to do to the energy system of the body? Because the energy is the core. The energy is the essence. And from this invisible life force energy, then we manifest into physical form. And so by working on the energy, we work on the mind, we work on our emotions, and we work on our bodies. And this is a practice that has thousands of years behind it as maybe subjective experiential practitioners have gone through these exercises for thousands of years, modified them, gave different techniques, different teachers put different nuances. And I think this course that we're going to do coming up is very unique because I am one of a handful of Westerners that really have focused on Tao Yin and learned it from the source. So I've learned it from Mantak Chia. I learned it from a teacher in Los Angeles. I went to China and I studied with some Tao Yin masters. And I learned it also from the martial artists. So we're going to get a few different forms in this course that will be a little bit different than maybe you'll see anywhere else. So we're going to get a standing set. We're going to get some lying down on the floor sets. We're going to get some sets that might look a little bit like Pilates, where we're really influencing and strengthening the core of our body to support the kidney energy, which is the batteries of the body, and for things like our low back and integrating that center, the core, to everything else. So the center here is called the lower dantian. And we think of that as the powerhouse of energy that then feeds energy to the rest of the body. So by having an emphasis on the core, we're going to feed energy from, let's say, the reservoir into all the rivers of the body and get it to circulate and flow. And so that our whole system, if we think of the Qi like water, becomes well irrigated, and we really get the fundamentals of this practice, which is to prevent disease and prolong life. So that's the goal of the practice: prevent disease, prolong life, and live life to our fullest potential. And so, yes, this is an exercise, and this is a moving meditation, mindfulness in motion with flowing movements, but really the overarching goal: how do we live our best life? And this is one practice that helps us to accomplish that goal. So let's break it down a little bit. Tao Yin. How do we spell it? Tao, this word Tao is a word that you see in Chinese philosophy. Taoism was one of the great religions of the world. Religions maybe isn't the best word because it's more of a philosophy of life. And Taoism comes from observing nature. So these Taoist masters watch nature, and they watch the way animals moved, and they watch the way rivers and trees moved in an effortless flow. And they said, let's mirror the movements of nature and create a practice that helps us to be in tune with our own inner nature and nature all around us. So Tao was the way to activate the natural flow of energy in our bodies. In Tao Yin, in this connotation, it really means to guide. To guide this energy through the body. And the mind. So we're going to guide the energy, guide and direct the vital principle, as it was called, the vitality, the life force through the body and the mind. And so what does this accomplish? So we have a mindfulness and motion kind of practice. So it helps us to get into the present moment, helps us to get out of our thoughts about the future, our worries, our stress, and helps us to bring our attention into the present moment, into our bodies, and then to gather the energy and power in this moment and circulate it through us so that we can meet life and life's demands with more energy, with more empowerment, with more vitality, and really accomplish the goal of health, happiness, and fulfillment. Health, happiness, and fulfillment. Because foundationally, if we're healthy and our energy is circulating, we have vibrancy and aliveness, we start to feel better emotionally. So happiness. And when we feel better emotionally, our minds are clearer. And when our minds are clear, they reflect the energy of the universe, the divine energy. And so all these aspects of who we are start to fall into alignment when we feel like an integrated human being rather than a human being that might be pulled in different directions. Our emotions are feeling one way, our minds are in resistance to certain emotional energy, in resistance to our bodies. We start to integrate and line up, and that is when the energy of who we are, mind, emotions, and body, line up like three horses going in the same direction as it was described. And then we get to where we want to go, which is the goal: health, vitality, happiness, joy, and a sense of fulfillment or connection with the Tao, the universe, nature, our own inner nature. And so that's, in essence, what the practice is all about. And we can see that Tao Yin has a similarity maybe to yoga. You're going to see that Tao Yin poses and postures, some of them are very similar to yoga. The difference might be that in these poses, there are going to be more flows. It's going to be a little bit more accessible for me than yoga because it's not as challenging. The postural work isn't as challenging. It may be more simple. And then we create a flow of energy by moving through stretches. And practices, for example, like yin yoga, yin, we have that word here, that means a sense of relaxation, a relaxing into the pose. So we'll work with these principles of yin and yang in our poses so that we can stretch the polarity. When we think about Qi like electricity, the positive and the negative, like a battery, the positive and negatives create that electricity. And that was called yin and yang. So yang is going to be the more movement through stretches, and the yin is going to be the more relaxation into stretches. And we'll work with both of these qualities so that our yin and yang energy is fully expressed. What does that look like? So yang energy is the energy you need for the day. You get up and you're excited about your day, you're inspired, you're energized. And then yin is at the end of the day when we want to turn it off and we want to relax, and we want to sleep well. And we need both of these energies to be full so that we fully express ourselves in positive ways. Now, who do you see that does yin and yang really well? Children. Children, they have a lot of energy during the day, and then when they go to sleep and they sleep, really well, often 10 hours, 12 hours, and then they have a lot of energy during the day. We as adults, this yin and yang gets muddled so that we don't have a lot of energy during the day. We're fatigued. And then when we go to sleep, we have a hard time sleeping. So we're wired, that's yang energy in the wrong place, and we're tired. That's yin energy in the wrong place. So once we get this clarity of yin and yang, we become energized during the day when we need it. We become relaxed at night when we need to rest and recharge. And that's what this practice will also do, help to clarify that yin and yang energy. And yin and yang is the foundation of health because homeostasis, equilibrium, is what we really need, both in our minds and our emotions and our bodies, because we change that equilibrium a little bit, change your temperature 2 or 3 degrees, and we don't feel so well. So we really want to establish yin and yang as a harmonious rhythm within our lives, within our minds, and our bodies. All right. With that said, let's do a little practice. Let's do a little practice. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to move our bodies. We're going to do some Qigong. We're going to do some Tao Yin. We're going to circulate this energy. But I want you to listen to your body, because in Tao Yin and in Qigong, here's the saying. You guys ready for this? No pain, no pain. It's not no pain, no gain, no pain, no pain. So let's do the exercises where it doesn't hurt, where it feels good, because movement is healing. Movement is healing. And we want to give a wide variety of movements to your mind and to your body. Nutritious movements that circulate your qi. There's no point in doing movements when it hurts. So we'll be able to modify. We're all in different bodies with different injuries. We've all had different life experiences. So let's move our bodies. Let's circulate energy, but let's do it in a way that feels good. So anytime you need to modify. If we're doing a deeper stance, you can do it shorter. And feel free to skip any exercise that doesn't feel good to you. And there's plenty of exercises that we can look at and choose that will work really well for you. Okay? So Tao Yin, let's get ready. Take a minute. I want you to get maybe a mat or a blanket, a cushion. We're going to start off on the floor. We're going to start off lying down on the floor and doing some breathing exercises. So it's going to be a very simple practice to start off with. Then it's going to get more complex, and we'll work our way up from the floor to a standing position. So everybody get comfortable. Get on the floor. We're going to be lying on our backs. All right, everybody, go ahead and lie down on your backs. And bring your hands over your lower abdomen. This is the center, as we were talking about. We're going to feel into the center of the body. And if we want qi, that life force energy, to come to this area, it's important to breathe into it. Because as it said, where the breath goes, the energy follows. And that's an important point to remember. Where the breath goes, the energy follows. So here, I want you to breathe into your belly. That means when you inhale, the abdomen expands. And when you exhale, abdomen moves back towards the spine. And when you inhale, the abdomen expands. And when you exhale, abdomen back towards the spine. Slow, deep breathing into the belly. Now, this is a simple practice, but the benefits are many. Because when you're breathing into your center, the mind becomes calm. And when you breathe into the center, you massage all the internal organs. When you breathe into the center, you bring energy into the lower dantian, which brings energy into the power center of your body for deeper vitality. Now take your hands up by your ribs. Let's breathe now into the ribs. And we said that the breath massages the internal organs. So on your right side is your liver and gallbladder. On your left side, you have stomach and pancreas and spleen towards the back of the left side. So we're going to massage the internal organs. Now, I want you to breathe into your ribs. So when you inhale, the ribs float up and out. Inhale, float up and out. Exhale, the ribs sink down. And inhale. Your ribs are like the wings of a bird. They float up and they float down. Nice, slow, deep breathing. And we start off with deepening the breath so that we can bring the breath into the different movements. Now, bring your feet flat onto the floor, your hands down to your side. And this is an exercise called the mountain raises from the sea. The mountain raises from the sea. And what this is good for is your spine. A great exercise for the spine. As you inhale, we're going to take the belly up towards the ceiling and press up, press the hips up, and roll all the way up to your shoulders. And like we said before, just go up as far as it's comfortable for you. And then slowly roll down and feel that your spine comes in contact with the floor and the mat, one vertebra at a time. And that'll unlock the joints of the spine. So we come up, inhale, mountain raises from the sea. And then exhale, come down one vertebra at a time and make contact with the mat and the floor. And then again, inhale and just exercise, massage, activate the energy through the spine. There's a few meridian lines. Meridian means energy pathway along the back. You have the bladder meridian and the dew meridian, which are activated with this stretch. And so all Tao Yin exercises, we're going to think about different meridian pathways. So as you go through this course, you're going to learn where the meridians are and what exercises stimulate which organ systems, which meridians, and what those meridians actually do for our physiology in our body. And see if you can just work into the stretch a little bit more so that when you come up, you're breathing a little bit deeper, maybe rolling up onto the shoulders a little bit more, feeling a nice stretch along the front of your legs. And then we'll roll down. And then hug both knees into the chest. Hug both knees into the chest. And now rock a little bit left and right. And this is going to massage right around your kidney area. And around the kidney, there's a couple of pressure points that are really good for vitality, a deeper energy of the body. And as some of you know, this is right by the door of life. So as you rock back and forth, you stimulate the door of life and these kidney points for a deep energy and vitality, also good for your lower back. Now take both knees over to the right side. Take both knees over to the right side. Hold the knees down with your right hand. Take your left hand over to your left side and then breathe into that left side of the rib cage. Remember the first exercise, we were breathing into the ribs. And now we do a posture that helps us to breathe deeper into the body. Breathe deep into the left side of the ribs and feel it go through the ribs all the way into the left side of your lower back. Where the breath goes, the Qi follows. Into this left side, the Qi is going to pour in. Slowly come back to the center. Hug the knees in. Take both knees over to the other side. Hold the knees down with that left hand. Turn your upper body to the right. And breathe down and through the right side of the ribs into the right side of the low back. And think of each posture as a breathing exercise. So yes, the posture opens the body and does all kinds of wonderful things to the meridians. But if you think of each posture as a breathing exercise, you'll bring your breath a little bit deeper into the body and expand how much energy or Qi you can bring into your system. And you might notice that when you inhale, the body kind of lifts and expands upward, and when you exhale, it sinks down towards the floor. So feel the rhythm of the breath expressed through the body. And we come back to the center, hug the knees in, and do that kidney rocking a little bit. Rock a little bit left and right. All right, now, take your hands right on your thighs, right by your knees. Take your palms right there. And we're going to work on the core of the body. This is an exercise called the monkey plays on the ground. And it's a whole sequence that strengthens the low back, the core, a muscle called the psoas muscle. We'll be working on the psoas muscle in these Tao Yin exercises. Let me introduce you to your psoas muscle if you're not familiar. Press your knees towards your face, but resist with your hands. Press your knees towards your face, but resist with your hands. That muscle that you're using is the psoas muscle. And if the psoas gets weak, our low back is weak, as well as our core. Now relax and just hug your knees into your chest and then down. Into the chest and then down. And this is an exercise that I taught in the low back workshop because it's so beneficial for low back release. If we've been sitting in couches and chairs for a long time, then the lower back and the energy system around the kidneys can become depleted. And so we charge it back up with these exercises. Do it again. Now hold your hands on the thighs. Let me give you the second variation. This one's a little more challenging, so feel free to just do the first one. We're going to press the knees towards the face. That's the first one. And if you want to try a little deeper strengthening, you're going to lift your forehead towards the ceiling. Lift a little more and press your knees harder towards the face. And you might feel your body trembling or vibrating a little bit as we activate the core and the psoas muscle. Press a little bit more. Release. And now hug the knees towards the chest and down. Towards the chest and down. And these kinds of exercises power up the core of the body, the lower dantian, and that psoas muscle as foundational strength. All right, now slowly roll to one side. And let's press ourselves up to sitting. Now you can use a cushion if you'd like. You could sit straight on the floor. You could sit on a blanket, whatever feels most comfortable to you. And let's have the soles of the feet together. How are you guys doing? Did you like monkey plays on the ground? Good stuff. You'll see it is similar to yoga. We're doing some stretching and some postures, and we can go from very simple exercises like this to very challenging exercises that I'll introduce you to in the Tao Yin course. We're going to show you the harder exercises as well. Then there's something for everybody. From an advanced yoga practitioner to an advanced Qigong practitioner to somebody who's never done these movements, we're going to have the time and the space to give you a wide variety of modifications to really learn about your body and your energy system, to say, what do I need to stay healthy? What do I need to stay strong? And what's this Qi and energy system all about anyways? We'll take a deeper look at that. For example, your Yin Meridians are on the inside of your legs. And there's 3 of them, 3 Yin Meridians. You have your kidney, you have the liver, and you have the spleen as the Yin organs. Now in Chinese medicine, the spleen isn't just the spleen. It's part of the elemental system. So for example, the spleen and the spleen meridian control digestion. And when we work on the spleen, we're going to work on our digestive system. But not only that, there's pressure points along the spleen meridian that are good for hormone balance. For example, spleen 6 is a point for menopause and for better sleep and to balance our emotional energy. And so we'll learn where these points are along the meridians as we go through the course and as we work into these stretches. For now, let's do a stretch. This is called the turtle comes out of its shell. So go ahead and hold the feet with your hands. You can interlock your fingers around the toes. You're going to tuck your chin down. And gently pull the body forward. And then look up and inhale. And then exhale, chin to the chest. And inhale as you look up. And exhale, chin to the chest. And see, when you do this movement, you're getting a nice stretch to the hips, but you're integrating the hips, the pelvis, the sacrum, and the lower back into the rest of the spine. Getting a little more range of motion as you go. And then what else are we doing? We're synchronizing breath and movement. We're synchronizing breath and stretch. Inhale as you look up. Go a little slower and deeper with the breath. Exhale as you come forward and down. And inhale as you look up. Exhale. And you can feel this as a nice massage along the length of the spine. Exhale. And inhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward and down. And now hold the stretch. Just come forward. Gently pull your body into the stretch. Now, here's a little deeper modification. If you can, take your elbows in front of your shins. If that doesn't feel comfortable, just relax. Keep your elbows on the inside of the shins. And then gently pull forward. Now, to go into this yin phase, you hold, you relax, and you breathe. Or remember before we said each posture is a breathing exercise? Well, here, the breathing exercise is to breathe into your lower back and your kidneys. So as you relax over, try to take some deep breaths into your lower back, your kidneys, and your hips. In this practice, it's not how far you stretch, but it's how well you stretch. And to stretch well means to breathe deep. So breathe deep as you relax into the stretch. And slowly come up. Slowly come up. Wonderful. Now that was working the energy to your kidney area, the lower back area, and the hips. And by moving, that takes that connection between hips, low back, and then the rest of the spine. And here's another wonderful stretch. You could do it on a cushion or not. You're going to open your legs up. And when I was doing this with my children, I said, you guys, I'm going to be teaching a Tao Yin course. Let me teach it to you. This is how I get them to practice Qigong and Qi stuff with me. I need your opinion. And so I had them doing this stretch, and they're like, Dad, this is easy. And they just fold all the way forward and touch the ground, and then they go from here into the splits. You know, to be a 12-year-old gymnast, not everybody's a 12-year-old gymnast and could do the split. So don't feel like you need to. I can't. So again, it's not how far you stretch, but it's how well you stretch. So we're going to feel where we are in our bodies. And if your hamstrings feel tight, you might want to sit on a blanket or a cushion. If you feel a little more flexible, you could sit straight onto the floor. And then we're going to flow into this stretch. So I want you to turn. I'm going to do your mirror image, meaning you're going to turn to your right side. Turn to your right and just hold the right leg with the right hand wherever you can comfortably. And the left hand is going to push down the inside of the leg. And then we're going to inhale to the chest and exhale. And we're just going to ease into the stretch. You don't have to hold and press the stretch very deep. You're just going to ease your way. You're going to melt away tension with the breathing. And inhale and exhale. Try to breathe a little longer and a little slower. And you'll start to feel that hamstring working out tension and tightness. In Tao Yin and in Qigong, the muscle lines, like the hamstring, are called lines of tension. And they correspond and correlate to different areas of the body. And we all know that the hamstrings connect to the lower back. And so that would be a line of tension from hamstrings to lower back. And we're going to release that line of tension with a slow flow. Now you're stretching the hamstring and the muscle, but you're also getting a little movement and articulation and flow through the joints of the lower back and the hips by flowing into the stretch. And hold the stretch. Just take that left hand onto the thigh, the right hand wherever you can comfortably, and hold the stretch. Now the holding is a breathing practice, so slow, deep breathing while you hold the stretch. Let your body open. Let tension melt. Let it melt. Slowly release. And so you might see what I mean by the yin and the yang. So the yang is this movement and flow, and the yin is the holding and the relaxation. And they both go together as a synergistic practice. So let's come over now to your left side. Hold the left leg wherever you can. And then we're going to flow. We're going to exhale as we press down and inhale as we come up. You might see how this might be a real nice blend between Qigong and yoga. The flowing movement like Qigong, but the stretch like yoga. So Tao Yin does a little bit of both. And then by synergizing, we get some deeper benefits. You get that healthy joints, you get the stretch in the muscles. And like we talked about as we were introducing this, we get resiliency. We cultivate resiliency, the combination of strength and flexibility. Exhale as you come down and stretch, and inhale up and exhale down. Press down and let's hold, go into that yin phase. Relax and breathe. Stretch that line of tension. Just be with your body, your mind, and your energy system wherever you are today, knowing that your practice each and every day will enhance it. It's like cultivating a garden. Every day we give it a little sunlight and a little water, and we start to grow and cultivate health, vibrancy, and vitality from the inside out. Take 2 more slow, deep breaths. Rolling up. Rolling up. Okay, so now you just got to experience some of the floor work, some of the core work, and some of these flowing stretches that are both yin and yang in nature, movement and relaxation. So in the workshop, we'll stretch that out a little bit more. We'll spend a little longer time in those yin poses, and we'll really develop. You'll see after a few weeks of this practice, because we're going to do it once a month for 4 weeks, your body starts to get more and more flexible as this energy circulates. All right, now we're going to come onto all fours in a very special exercise. This is called Dog Wags the Tail. And so we're going to just move the spine left and right. Move your hips and your waist, your tailbone, and let that movement go all the way up to your neck and shoulders. And this one is really wonderful for tension or tightness in the back. So if you have any back discomfort, neck, shoulders, low back, Tao Yin is one of the best practices to help to release that and then to develop that core strength for better alignment and structural and postural structure. Now go a little quicker and see if you can move all the joints in the spine and then slow it down. Slow it down, and then come up into standing. Stand up. All right, so we've done a little floor work, and now I'll show you some Tao Yin from a standing posture. So I'm trying to introduce you to the full spectrum, just give you a little sampling of what this practice is all about and see what we're going to be working with as we go through these weekends. Bring your feet a little closer together. And this one is a meridian stretch and flow. It's going to cover all the meridians and stretch out all the major muscles in your body. We're going to start off with the hands by the heart. Come back to your breath now. Bring your breath into your belly. Some deep breathing back into that lower abdominal center. And then as you're doing that, press the knuckles of the thumbs right into this point, right into the center of the chest. This is a pressure point for emotional balance. So as you press in with the thumbs, as you press in right into the center of the chest and bring your breath into your belly, this is for emotional stability. And just take a few centering breaths. And then let's go into an exercise called the arrow. We're going to come up with the hands up over the head and squeeze the buttocks. Press your hips forward. This is to strengthen your spine. Into the next exercise, this is called connecting to the earth. Hands at the back of the head. Bend your knees, sink down, connect to the earth. And then stand back up. Bring that strength and flexibility into your spine by reaching up and back. Squeeze the buttocks. And then sink down. Bend your knees. Sink down. And reach up and back. Inhale. Exhale as you come down. And we're pumping energy through the body. We're strengthening the spine. We're strengthening the legs. Exhale down. And inhale as you come up. One more time. Reach up, reach back. Now, swan dive into a forward bend. Hang forward with your knees slightly bent. Hang forward with your knees slightly bent. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. And let the energy just pour down the back of your body. Knees are slightly bent. I like to rest my abdomen onto my thighs and then relax my head and shoulders. And just give any stress or tension, give it over to the earth. Just let it go downward. Take a nice, slow, deep breath. And now interlock your fingers, bend your knees, and we're rolling up. And we're gathering energy from the earth. Now, like a tree soaking up the water through the roots, we're bringing that energy and nourishment all the way up through the body, hands up over the head. And now do a movement called raising the bubbling springs. Come up onto your toes. Lift, come up onto your toes. Come up and balance. So now we're lifting the energy up. We're strengthening the feet and the lower back. That's the water element. Now come down and stretch to one side. Press through your palms. And you are opening here into the right side or your left side of your rib cage. And that is the liver gallbladder meridians. And then the other side and stretch through the rib cage and the sides of the spine. The liver gallbladder meridians. Take a deep breath. And arms come up, out to the sides. And we're going to press our palms down towards the floor, down towards the earth. This is the heart meridian and pericardium meridian. Shoulders pressed down. Go ear to the shoulder. When we talked about a line of tension, feel that line of tension and breathe into it. Nice deep breathing and let it release and stretch. Now try rolling your head back. That's another line of tension that goes more along the front of the neck into your jaw. and release there. And roll forward, chin forward, still ear towards the shoulder, chin forward, and feel that stretch more to the back of the shoulder in the upper back area. Take a deep breath there. Chin to the chest, down and across to the other side, ear to the shoulder, right in the middle. Feel that stretch. When you stretch these meridian lines and muscles, you're going to bring more blood flow. You're going to expand and dilate these meridians so that there's more qi that moves through these lines. Roll the head back. Take a deep breath there. Roll the head forward. Take a nice deep breath there. Chin to the chest, hands down. Now, I want you to notice how your body feels. When you just hold the arms to your sides, you might feel some tingling, a little bit of buzzing in the hands. What does that mean? That means you freed up tension here, and now the energy moved from contraction into flow, and you're getting that flow of energy in the hands through the meridians because the palms of the hands and the neck area are connected. And that's why if somebody has carpal tunnel, often we'll work on the neck first, work to release these muscles and get the meridian or the nerves to open up here. So in meridian theory, different than physiology, but it's very similar. We open up, we release the energy here because you're holding a lot of tension, unnecessarily so, by contracting these muscles. That takes up energy, that saps our energy. We feel drained because we're like this. Why do we go like this? Because stress, emotional stress, makes our bodies contract. And so when you stretch, you free up that energy, it circulates, it's going to give it back to you, and then we're going to feel more energized. All right, so that was a nice meridian stretch and flow with the arrow for the spine and the earth to strengthen the legs, side stretch for the ribs and the sides of the spine, and then out through the arms. So we get that full body opening. All right, now step out. Let's shake. Let's just shake it all out. You've done some good work today. A nice simple Tao Yin set. And when I do this practice in the morning, I feel ready for the day. I feel my body strong. I feel energized. I feel that, when you're sleeping, your body can develop some stiffness or tension. So it's a great morning practice. And that said, I also like those floor exercises. I like to do it in the evening. You just get on the floor and stretch it out. So there'll be, in this course, I'll show you what to do in the morning and also what to do in the evening to develop and cultivate that yin-yang energy. All right, now, this one's just for clearing stress and opening the body's energy. Inhale through the nose, exhale with the long sigh. Long sigh, just let it go. Wonderful. Deep breath, one more time. Relax. And now, with the body opened up and all those balancing exercises, we are ready to do some flowing movements. So integrate the Tao Yin into some of the Qigong flowing movements, and you'll see how that works really well together. So let's just start off with opening the flow to 4 directions. Open the flow to 4 directions really helps to create that seaweed in the ocean feeling in your spine. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to inhale. The hands come up to the shoulders. And then you're going to push forward, pull back, and hands come down. Now this is the part that feels very relaxing because flows are the art of effortless power. Like nature. Nature moves with effortless ease. There's no tension in the way a wave moves in the ocean or a river flows down the mountain. It moves with intrinsic strength. So that's what I want you to learn how to do. Move with intrinsic strength. Well, we start to feel a collaborative relationship with the energy all around us. Inhale as you come up to your shoulders. Then exhale, push forward. Inhale back. Exhale down. Now breath and body and flow are working together. Wonderful. Now, when your hands come up, we're doing a little seaweed in the ocean kind of movement. And let me explain that a little bit more. All right, so when your hands are coming from here to your chest, so as you come in, I want you to rock towards your toes. And then as you push forward, I want you to rock towards your heels. So here, that's where you send the energy to the back. And again, so you rock here towards the toes. Let's just try this one part of the movement and then push forward towards the heels. Like a tree in the wind, like seaweed in the ocean, the tree and the seaweed are moved by the current. Okay, now come down. Now try to give the whole movement that seaweed in the ocean feel. So you come up, a little rock towards your heels, then toes, push forward into the heels, pull back towards the toes, drop down, the whole foot, feel the earth. At first, flow is something we have to think about and train, and then it just becomes effortless, that you don't have to do it, it just moves through you. And we'll be really working with that concept of flow as we go into these 4 workshops. Let's try it again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A little wave-like quality through the spine, out through the arms. And at first you might be going, wait, where is that rock to the heels? Where is it rock to the toes? Don't worry about it too much. Just float the arms up, push the arms forward, pull the arms back, drop down. You might start to see, oh, my body rocks all by itself. And flow is a skill set to be learned, cultivated, practiced until it becomes very natural. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Wonderful, you guys. One more time. All right. Now, bring feet together. This is called centering. We're just going to center to end our practice. Inhale. Exhale, down the midline. And inhale. And this is about gathering your energy. You know, your precious life force energy, we invest it into so many things. We invest it into our work. We invest it into our friends, our families, our children, our parents. So there comes a time where you need to fill your energy tank back up. You need to charge your batteries. And so this movement, centering, it helps us to reclaim our power, to charge our batteries so that we have more energy and we have the mindset where we can choose where to invest our energy. So just gather it back to your center. And we're going to inhale and exhale. Nice and slow. As you slow down your body, your mind will slow down. And we enter into the present moment a little more fully. Take a deep breath. Bring both hands over your lower abdomen. And I want you to interlock the webbing of your thumbs. Just put them like that. You're going to connect an acupressure point here in the webbing of the thumbs. It helps the Qi to come down. And then place them both right over the navel. And this is a posture for being centered. Whenever you need to feel centered and grounded, we can come here and here. And we're going to come full circle because we started our practice today with deep breathing, deep abdominal breathing. And now I want you to come back to that. Slow, deep breathing into your belly. Inhale, let the abdomen expand a little bit. Exhale, abdomen moves towards the spine. And do it as deep and as slow as you can. And see, our practice can come full circle, where we end the practice in the same kind of breathing exercise, but we're from a very different place because we've worked with our energy, we've stretched our bodies, we've strengthened, and we've entered the flow. We have changed the energy within us. And it didn't take very long. A 30, 40-minute practice can do wonders for your mind and body, for your health and vitality. Just breathe into that. Feel that. They call it the precious life force energy because it is so precious. Your health, vitality, and energy is the most precious thing. And so as we take care of it and we nurture it, it really helps us lead our fullest life. Take one more deep breath. Okay. Tap on your chest a little bit, just up and down right here. Sometimes at the end of a practice, we might tap on certain pressure points to integrate our practice into the rest of our day or to focus on a particular intention. So we come to the heart here, the heart center, tapping up and down, and then just bring your hands to the heart. Feel a little energy there in the heart center. And we cultivate a little gratitude for the rest of our day. So I'm very grateful for you all coming to do this practice. I love sharing this ancient wisdom, making it relevant for modern life.